Hello everyone, it's Wednesday, December 13th, and this is the second edition of ETV Magazine for the year. I'm Sam Diebler.
And I'm Lexi Cuban. First up, the annual food drive took place last month.
We talked to a few STUCO members and sponsor Rachel Nally about the process and the results.
So each year we get a list of how many students are in the 6th-hour classes, and we multiply that number of students by 12 to get a figure for each teacher. And then that's sent out to those 6th-hour teachers, and that gives them their class goal.
I know it'll be different because there's a lot more involvement in the school, I believe. And I think that people really know the cause this year of why we do the food drive, so I think that makes people donate more because they know what the cause is. And we've been sponsoring it a lot more this year, and so a lot of people know more about it.
It's just distributed out in Goddard. We have people who come and pick it up after we box it, and it goes to just people in need in Goddard.
This year we collected 3,337 cans. Can-wise, we improved dramatically from last year. We had about, I want to say it was 1,300 or 1,500 cans last year, so we more than doubled what we had last year in cans.
Next up, we're going to try something a little different this year, as executive producer Trey Greening joins us to do a commentary. A
commentary is a staff's opinion and stance on a specific topic they deem important.
Trey, what do you have for us?
Gun control. It's a topic that has been in the news a lot lately, with unfortunate tragedies that seem to keep happening.
Seems like every time you turn around, there's another mass shooting. This is ridiculous and very sad. From the massacre in Las Vegas to the school shooting at Sandy Hook, what is going on? More has to be done. There needs to be even more gun control. There needs to be even tighter background checks, with more questions being asked about a person's mental health. What about family history? Officials should be checking violent tendencies in people. The time it takes to own a gun is way too short. It simply needs to be way harder to get and own a gun. Also, a person does not need a fully automatic gun. People say they need these types of weapons to protect their families. This is simply ridiculous. The bump stock, which is used to modify a semi-automatic gun, basically making it fully automatic, is legal in most states, but again, it is simply not needed in society. Ask the families of the people slaughtered in Las Vegas.
This is such an important topic, and as a staff, we believe that something clearly must be done.
Thanks, Trey. Our next story is about Suicide Awareness Week. Eisenhower welcomed Mark Potter, a public speaker who discussed the serious issues of depression and suicide with the students and staff. Reporter Tyler Bowles has the story.
Coach Mark Potter came to Eisenhower to share his story and spread the word about suicide prevention.
My drive is to change lives and save lives. I mean, it's through the 12 years that I've been speaking, I've just noticed that it's just been a prevalent thing among our society that people struggle a lot.
His plan is basic and simple, but takes this topic to heart.
I thought his speech was pretty good. I think it really hit home, and I think that suicide and depression is a real thing and that it should be talked about more. For him to really speak about that and to tell everybody that it's a real thing.
At the end of it all, Potter hopes he had impacted teens in a positive way.
Obviously, we hope that it does. It's something that's near and dear to our hearts, and we want to be able to help as many people as we possibly can. Hopefully it made a huge difference when it was all said and done.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Tyler Bowles.
Another event that took place during Suicide Awareness Week was the ever-popular Survivor Ball.
Out Loud sponsored the event to bring awareness to suicide prevention and to simply have fun playing a competitive version of dodgeball.
Let's go back to Tyler Bowles for this story.
Survivor Ball has always been a part of EHS, and this year the tradition continues.
Well, I think with Survivor Ball, I think it's really important to do something where we get as many people involved as possible, to spend time together, do something fun, and show that it's okay to talk about suicide prevention and awareness. And I love to not only watch the games, but to watch the kids in the stands just really getting a kick out of it. If there ever comes a time when, Survivor Ball isn't doing what we want it to, then I think Out Loud will try to figure out something different.
As many people know, Survivor Ball is to help spread awareness about suicide, but some are also in it for the game.
I played for both. Suicide's a really important thing. At the same time, it got people out, so more people heard the message about suicide, and at the same time, they were also there to have fun.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Tyler Bowles.
Now on to entertainment. Stagecraft is a laid-back class where students design sets for upcoming theater productions. Reporter Jace Murphy filed this report.
The Stagecraft crew works hard to produce the props for each and every play. They help make the setting for the play go to the theater department as well.
What Stagecraft is meant for is to build the sets for all the shows we do. So I'm obviously there to instruct them on how to properly use tools. Definitely we have students that come from lots of different backgrounds, so there's some students that are very advanced and know how to build things well and do a lot of that outside of school already and probably know more than I do on some things, and then there's some that have never used a power tool before. But then once they start building, they're really self-sufficient and are able to kind of work at their own pace.
They do everything from using power tools for cutting wood and screwing it all together to painting and designing the pieces.
Just getting everybody ready for, of course, theater, and it really teaches us, to get ready for the real world where, sometimes you have to do it yourself.
It adds to the play a little bit more, and it gives them stuff to hide behind, so if they need to change or anything.
So all the building and designing they're doing leads up to the final production. So when we do a show, I don't think people realize all the work that goes on behind the scenes.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jace Murphy.
For the second year in a row, Friday Night Flicks was put on by the Student Council. This year, though, it was a Thursday night flick due to rescheduling because of a football game. I talked to the people behind the scenes to give you a closer look.
Last year, if I recall, Mrs. Nally had wanted to do something like the Friday Night Flick, and I was all on board with it. It's a good opportunity to have some other options for students to get involved with. She wanted to repeat it this year. We kind of made it a little bit better and bigger.
The Nightmare Before Christmas was chosen for the event, and students enjoyed drinks and popcorn for $1.
And we just thought it'd bring our student body closer together if people participated, so we just wanted to try it again.
Stuco isn't guaranteed to continue the flick next year, but it is a possibility.
Another new segment for Ike Entertainment this year is simply called In the Spotlight. For this show, we will be looking at junior Evan Bergeron.
During this year's Fall One Acts, Evan Bergeron took on a very new opportunity. He was the only actor in 71 auditions who was casted in 2 plays.
So one of my roles is kind of an angry director, and I'm just really frustrated. And then my other role, I'm a young teenager who's struggling with an eating disorder, so they're very different.
He actually wasn't originally in my cast, but because of conflicts with the schedule, we had to add him to our cast list, and he did so amazingly with that, and he worked so hard to make sure he could do both.
In addition to being casted for 2 roles, this also means Evan has to put in double the work to memorize his lines.
For one of the shows, it's after school in the evening, so I have to deal with that plus my work schedule. And so a lot of days I'll have rehearsal right after school, and then I have an hour break, and then I have rehearsal at 6. So.
Flat out enthusiasm, the way he portrayed and read really well for the part.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Haley Ferguson.
The winter sports season is up and going, so let's start with boys basketball. There's a pretty high expectation from Coach Blue and his players to have yet another successful season this year. Reporter Brianna Welsh filed this report.
The boys basketball team had a record-breaking season last year, and with their ambitions high, they hope to continue their success.
I think Dylan Vincent, is a key player coming back, all-state point guard. I look for Tanner King and Jeff Wick to both have big seasons for us, and then some of our young guys, Jordan Vincent, being someone who I can see stepping up, and then we're going to need our post players, Josh Paul, Mitchell Morris, guys like that, to step in and rebound for us and do the things on the inside to make us still have that threat of having the inside game.
I think we're going to be just as good. I think we're going to have around the same record because I feel like our competition in the league isn't that good, and with our returning juniors plus a couple sophomores, I think we'll just have the same record.
Yeah, I think we're going to be just as good. I mean, we still have Dylan coming back, Jeff, me. We're going to have Jordan Vincent coming back, who played a big role as our 6th man last year.
Even with the experience coming back, they still need to focus on the job at hand.
We've got to have some guys step up, and definitely as far as rebounding, that's going to be a key for us.
A big problem for the team this year is the loss of Matt Pyle, who was a huge part of the scoring aspect of the game.
You lose a guy like Matt Pyle who averaged double-figure rebounds for his career. So
we have to be more tough because without Matt, we don't have as many shot blockers or rebounders. So we'll have to be bigger and more tough inside.
Josh Paul needs to step up a lot this year, kind of replace Matt, which is going to be hard, but I think he can do it.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Brianna Welch.
Ed Edison from Garden Plain High School was added to the wrestling coaching staff this year to replace Lorenzo Serna.
Many believes he brings a new style of wrestling to Tiger Nation. Reporter Connor Dawson takes you down to the mat to get an inside look into this year's wrestling team.
The wrestling team have not been well prepared in years past. This year, with the change to the middle school, this team's future could change.
Expectations for this year is starting off where we left off last year and improving all the things that we didn't quite get finished up last year. We have a lot of new people coming in from the middle school thanks to Schmidt, and I think we'll have a really solid team, even more so than last year.
I think it will go pretty good. We got a couple good kids coming up from 8th grade. They're freshmen now, so I think we should have a good team.
With 4 state qualifiers returning, the experience in the room is much higher, which leads to more ambitious goals for the team.
Goals is to get 3 guys on the podium or championships.
I think that we'll do pretty well. I think this year we'll be able to compete with other teams in duels, having a more full team, and at state we'll be able to actually put some people in medaling rounds.
Of course, with any goals, there must be work put in to get what they want out of it.
Definitely can work on, as every year, fixing the things that we didn't quite get fixed last year, working harder in all the areas that we could have worked harder last year.
I think the biggest thing is that they need to do is conditioning, getting in shape. Being able to out-wrestle a wrestler is the biggest thing.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Connor Dawson.
Next up, bowling. Assistant coach John Stockstill said there are many incoming freshmen who appear to have some potential of helping the team to be successful. He said the goal, like always, is to go to the state tournament and bring back another state title to the Tiger Nation. Bowling practices start January 1st.
Last but not least, we have girls basketball. The team lost Mallory Miller, one of the best players to go through the program due to graduation. Reporter Cheyenne Abelgard heads down to the court to learn more.
The girls basketball team is coming off a down year last season. This year, however, they look to improve because of a strong freshman class and improved play from their returning players.
We're very sophomore, freshman heavy, where that means we kind of have a young team, which is exciting because that means that gives us 2 more years to watch these girls really grow and develop.
And everyone's shooting a lot better and just making sure everyone's working together.
Work more on our fundamentals and get with the freshmen, make sure they're doing good this year. More comfortable playing at the varsity level.
To improve this year, I think we need to have a whole team effort, everyone shooting, everyone playing good defense, and everyone rebounding a lot more.
The team's expectations are to go further this year than they have in the past few seasons.
We're going to need everyone to really contribute, and I feel like we have a lot of players that will be able to contribute. We're going to have a much more dynamic team, and it's going to be a real fun season to watch them get going.
Team goal is to play as a team and keep everybody involved and win.
We'll be a real contender with the league, and I think you'll see a lot of improvement, and the girls will make a great showing.
For ETV Magazine, I am Cheyenne Abelgard.
Well, that wraps it up for another ETV Magazine for the year.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Ike Sports News for everything relevant to EHS.
For ETV Magazine and I Like Ike Productions, I'm Sam Diebler.
And I'm Lexi Cuban. We'll see you next time.